Take my hand and let me lead you into the satisfying world of Please Don't Go Home, Akutsu-san. It's never too late to board this incredible ship. There's a whole lot of room to spare and a whole lot of chances for you to catch up to the series while it is still hot. Man, if you've never heard of this series before, well, welcome Lost Lamb, because I just gave you a hidden gem. Now, I have talked about this manga long ago, so please check that out to learn the premise of it. The link's down in the description below. But what I want to talk about today is the insane hype of the recent chapters. And boy oh boy, is it wholesome? Wholesome good? Throwing a bit of, ecchi here and there, but it still stays strong to the romantic element of it and the progression of the whole story, the characters. It's just chef's kiss, and in the presentation you'll see why. And yeah, welcome to Puppet. The drama starts at chapter 71. It's summer, usually the time where you would spend with your family and friends, and in most anime or manga plots, in this case it's spending the summer with friends, which calls for a lot of good flags to pop up for that sweet romantic development. So, quick premise of what's going on. So it's summer. Ooyama, or the main protagonist of the story, Ooyama, does he want to let Akutsu-san stay with him or not? I don't know, right? And I'm gonna spoil too much of it because it's just so good. I really suggest you check it out for yourself. Catch up to the manga. Please do so. It's gonna get good from here on out, right? Because, yeah, as I've said, the amount of expressions that they make, the amount of expressions made from the developments, the moves put on by Ooyama, amazing. At chapter 72, things progressed way better, and I believe this is also where the progress of the romance development took a huge step, and trust me, you definitely want to read this chapter, very much so. Now, but if you think that's good, wait until you read the 73rd chapter, the chapter where Ooyama pulled the big Chad moves against Akutsu-san, leveling him up to a master level of a romance protagonist. And even Oya-san, or the landlady, that's not her by the way, that's Akutsu-san, the landlady had much to show about her gratefulness to nature, to the storm, and you'll see why if you read the plot, the premise of what happened in the chapter. It's so good. Now, remember from chapter 72? Well, if you've read that chapter, okay, good. But from then on, in chapter 74, things took a good elevation towards it. It's just pure sweetness, and it's really a reminder of how our main heroine, Akutsu-san, is such a pure heart, that tsundere, perfect model of a delinquent type of waifu material, with a hint of pureness to it. It's sweet, spicy, Now, the rest of the chapters certainly leaned to, a much more ecchi but still wholesome transition, And what I absolutely love about this series is that you have all the tropes that you would find in, harems or rom-coms, but placed in a setting where, it's just the two of them. You only have two characters, the main protagonist male and main protagonist female, or heroine. It's just perfect. Sure, you have also the landlady Oya-san, but she is the very character in the story who's just like us, the reader, a spectator for that sweet romance. And boy, does the landlady capture what we are feeling right now. When chapter 79 came, it was whack, it was insane. Now, what happened in the chapter was so sweet, an insanely huge jump to the romance element of it, and it is just amazing. Now, I can't really show why it is amazing. You have to read it for yourself because it's just so good. It's that good, right? And I can only show you how even Oya-san or the landlady reacted to it, reacted to what they did in this chapter. And yeah, it's exactly how I felt, and I assume most of the readers also felt when they read this chapter, you know, or even they got even more excited about it and more hyped because of the romantic development that it had to offer. Overall, I can really look forward to having this manga series progress even further. The more chapters that it comes in, the more I anticipate what, you know, echiness or wholesome meanings or levels that it has to offer, or it might transition into. It's just such a anticipative, really fascinating and really satisfying read of a romance manga. You know, not every manga has this sort of, you know, pureness to it. Like let's say the manga that I reviewed long ago, A Rare Marriage, How to Grow Love. Now that was perfect, but in this setting, right? In this, you have a setting wherein there's boy, girl, romance, tsundere, a bit here and there, chadness to the main protagonist, and yeah, that's it. It's amazing in its own way. It's beautiful how this manga series just takes the romance element of it seriously and also add a bit of, you know, common tropes here and there, but character design wise, story wise, plot wise, I find it to be a really beautiful read of a romance manga. Like I said in my last video, I believe in delinquent waifu material supremacy.